Every president that really want to fight corruption must start by singing it in the morning. He wakes up in the morning and says, we must nip this in the bud. Now, let me just tell you what the president has also done that is very fundamental. He told us recently that monies are being recovered, and those monies are in the billions. Even though some people say, oh, go ahead and mention the name, it depends on his objective. Is his objective to begin to mention names of those who are bringing the money, or to recover as much as possible? It depends on his objective. And so if I'm in his shoe, I will keep quiet and get as much as possible before I take any step I feel like taking. And so monies are being recovered, monies are being saved. To the extent that for the first time in Nigerian economical history, somebody is giving us an information, an insight of how next year's budget will be like. 8 trillion budget next year.
But hold on.
Yes.
Etolo Ansem says, I should tell you
yes.
that the economy is in crisis and helpless.
That is his own opinion. Because I tell you that even in this particular economy, a lot of people are doing well. Because what the economy is encouraging now is hard work. A situation where people were waiting and, stealing crude oil, and then doing all manner of things that is evil, and then making millions from the system, those has stopped. That is what that's why people are crying. All those money they are stealing, free money, opening account, using government money to open private account, all that nonsense has stopped. And so there is tightening in the system, sir. So those who are benefiting from the system will have to cry. But those who are working hard will not cry because money will certainly come.
Okay. Captain Aliyu Shuaib says Nigeria is winning the war on corruption, although the major problem that the course is facing is the judiciary. I guess he agrees with
I've mentioned that before, that the judiciary itself.
But he's saying that we're winning the war, even though there's that challenge of the judiciary.
We are not making any headway as far as I'm concerned, because it's like we are using holier than thou attitude to prosecute this war, and it's not working. We seem to want to apply. We don't apply the rule of law to the extent that people will believe that we are making progress. Because somebody is picked up today without proper investigation, without due process, that person is exposed and ridiculed. And this thing can be done.
Can you be specific, sir? Can you be a bit specific?
Well,
can you mention a name or somebody who has been ridiculed?
You didn't mention names.
No, but then it would be nice to make general statement, because this government just came within 6 months. And arrests have been made, and people have been released on bail. Do you have any specific
the arrests that were made? Let's look at the ones that were made recently.
Yes.
The Dr. C.
Yes. Come and answer, yes.
They were just invited.
He wasn't arrested, he was invited, so I'm very happy you said invitation, yes.
The PDP says it was a bias invitation.
What do you want them to say? Mention names again. Dasuki, you want to mention
Dasuki.
him? Let's even analyze that.
This one has to. All these three have to do with a 2 billion naira arms contract.
And you are being asked to come and answer.
I'm not against.
Come and give an explanation. Is there anything wrong with that? Can that be said to be a trampling on their fundamental human right? Come and give an explanation that you were giving such an amount of money to purchase arms, and you could not account for it. Now, can you come and give us an account? Is there anything wrong with that, sir? Under the law, is there anything wrong with that?
I've not said so.
Beautiful.
They could be invited.
Yeah.
But there are many other people out there who did similar things.
Like, sir,
be specific. The ones that they have published, I know, and I want to talk about, we can talk about them. But the one they have refused to do is not doing any help to the
Captain, that was making a general statement. If you cannot be specific as to any person you feel there is allegation against him.
There was an allegation
against this platform is not a platform for allegations.
Oh, allegation.
Unless it's been made public.
No, but if it's in the public, it must be in the public domain, or is it a private thing?
Somebody was charged to court sometimes.
Who?
Let me explain. Somebody was charged to court. The same Umar that is trying the Senate president was the one that tried that case. And they made a mess of that case. And you find people who should not even be walking about freely doing so. And it makes a nonsense of fighting corruption. And some of them walk in and out of villa today. It embarrasses some of us.
Was that under this present government or was previous government?
This present administration.
That somebody was tried by Umar?
Yes, by the same Umar.
Left free?
And Umar himself.
What month, sir, did that particular trial take place?
That was about 3-4 years ago. I can't remember.
But then that cannot be under this administration we're talking about, because we're talking about are we winning the war that is dispensation?
The anti-corruption agencies, should they be, in quote, tied to any particular government?
No, they shouldn't be.
Well, I think that the government is very key, because you see, if the language of the government, body language of the government is, look, I'm averse to corruption, and the head says, I am not going to define corruption not to mean stealing. I mean, you give it call it a proper name, then every other person around you will take a cue and then begin to behave. I said leadership is key. If a man is in charge of his home and run it very, very efficiently and run it very well, the kids have to follow, including the wife. But when a man is very careless, every other person behaves. It came to a time in Israel, Bible said that everyone does what was right in his sight, because there was no leadership. So leadership is very key. And I say it here, and with every sense of responsibility. Everything rises and falls with leadership. The moment we get it right as a nation, with leadership, this country will begin to run, because we have everything.
So when you talk leadership here, you're talking
heaven on earth.
You're talking about leadership just at the top, or you're talking about leadership at every level.
But starting from the top. Starting from the top, but in every cadre.
But he's saying something here that even though the leadership up there seems to be right, there's still a problem with the judiciary. The leadership in the judiciary is not right.
Now, the day we have talked about judiciary several times here, but that's not the topic today. But you want me to go into judiciary?
Part of corruption.
It's also very important we take a look at it, because the president himself has made mention of what judiciary is supposed to be like. And I'm very happy with this. The current CJN is now talking about recruitment process. Who becomes a judge? Now it's going to be an open thing. It's no longer going to be a thing. Names will be generated from nowhere. Now the CJ said now, before you become a judge, we must know who you are. You must even apply for it. An interview will be conducted, and people will write concerning that person, his antecedent, his character, whether even he wants to be a judge in the first place. So names will not be coming up from anywhere any longer. So that again is very key. The recruitment process is very, very important.
Well, I think we can do much, much better by ensuring that the atmosphere, the climate is conducive for everybody to operate. We should not lose sight of growing the economy because we are fighting